Hi everyone. Today we are going to review season 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian. Now this is a show that I literally just binge watched because holy crap, it was so good. So I thought the guy who the Mandalorian first meets for his first job was, for some reason, who did I think it was? Oh God, I thought it was Lando Calrissian for some reason, but it wasn't. It was this mercenary called Grief. Grief Karga? Is that right? Jeez, my God. Some of these guys have such weird names. Anyhow, where is the guy that he first goes to? I guess they just called him the client. Anyhow, his first job is to find or track down this, sorry, my camera seems to be way off. Track down this, package, basically, and the only way to track it down is, they call them pucks, so basically the Mandalorians are kind of, they're in the bounty hunting business, so they bring back their targets dead or alive, and this guy says that, alive will be worth more money. Vescar pieces, they are obviously a very high value, so he will give him more Vescar if he brings back the package alive as opposed to dead, but dead is an option for a lower fee. And this guy does the role of, I guess, in a way, creepy, kind of well, because this guy, if you recognize him from The Mandalorian, you've probably seen Jack Reacher, because he was in that as well. Kind of playing like almost the same character, but just his voice, the way he speaks, is very different from a lot of actors, and he does the part of leader very well, I would say, even though he's supposed to be the client, right? So you find out that the package is the character that has been infamously named Baby Yoda, even though that isn't his real name. What was Baby Yoda's real name? I can't remember. Huh. That's weird. Funny that I can't find it, huh? Oh well. It tells you later on in the name when the Mandalorian, who's basically known as Mando, finds the Jedi in season 2 and asks for, let's just say, Baby Yoda to be trained. I'm kind of confused as to the timeline of this show because at the very end of season 2, Luke makes an appearance, and I'm pretty sure if you've watched the show or even heard anything about the show, you know that that's one of the biggest moments in the show. It is at the end of season 2, and I was kind of waiting for it because I did know about it, I just wasn't sure when it was happening. But the Jedi talks about knowing Yoda as one of the top Jedi Masters, but I guess Luke was young when Yoda died. So I guess that does make sense. So when are the Mandalorians? I guess the Mandalorians would have been way before, but Boba Fett is in there, and Jango Fett is dead. So geez, how long does Boba Fett live for? My God, man. I guess technically Boba Fett wasn't he a clone? So I guess maybe that would make sense. I suppose I guess he was part of the clone army, so he could potentially live forever, I suppose. Huh, I never thought about that. I guess I should have picked up on that. I was thinking prequel stuff, I guess, because Boba Fett was... Yeah, I guess the Boba Fett part threw me off because Jango Fett was his father who died. Yeah, so I guess Jango Fett would have been around, I guess, before Luke was even really grown up then. Huh, that's weird to think about, isn't it? So I guess the Mandalorians were before, or, yeah, well before. Or no, they would have been around the time during Darth Vader. Geez, this just doesn't make much sense, does it? This timeline seems a little messed up, huh? So will the Mandalorian run into Darth Vader? Is that a possibility? Or has the Death Star already been destroyed? Because they're saying that there isn't many Jedis, but there's more Jedis. Yeah, that's weird. This timeline's messing me up. I might have to go back and watch the show again just to kind of figure out where the timeline exactly is supposed to be. Anyhow, one of the things that I'm excited for, obviously, in 2021 is going to be, I guess, Boba Fett's getting his own story. Now, I don't know whether that will just be like a one-season thing, but I'm hoping it lasts more than that. Or maybe just like a mini-series. That would be kind of cool, because usually they do really well if it's just like a limited series like Netflix does from time to time with certain things. That would be cool. Anyhow, so back to not the timeline, because I've talked about that too much now. So the Mandalorian has to go and find Baby Yoda, bring him back. He brings him back alive, and when he realizes, I guess what the kid's going to be used for, because he calls him kid, he decides to go back and save it and basically go rogue. He goes from planet to planet trying to basically escape the assassins that are obviously coming after the child to kill it. He was going to leave it on one planet where they end up facing an Imperial walker and saving this small town from being completely destroyed. And obviously, from time to time, he runs into this character named Cara Dune, who eventually becomes the marshal on the planet. Now, what was the planet's name? Oh, damn. See, I can't remember the planet's name. See, I just finished this last night, so it's hard to remember everything. But anyhow, she becomes marshal of the planet that he starts on, actually. And she helps him out throughout the show. Now, I know there's been some controversy with some of the characters outside of it, but I won't get into that. I'm sure if you know, you know. But I don't think it takes anything away from the show, and hopefully, as far as I'm concerned, hopefully all the characters get to stay, because I myself haven't been able to find anything that would evidently put anybody in any wrongdoing as far as that I'm concerned, but I don't know, maybe it's out there, I just haven't seen any evidence of it. If you know what I'm talking about, I guess you can, I guess if you know kind of thing, right? Because I don't want to get into it, because I'm not going to talk about outside of the show stuff. I just wanted to touch on that just a little bit, just to kind of give my sort of opinion, I guess, because I like to do research into people when other people say there's something wrong with this person, but yeah, I haven't been able to find anything, so maybe I'm just not digging deep enough, or maybe I'm overlooking things, I don't know, but anyhow, hopefully all the cast members get to stay, because I would like to see that. As long as they're not doing anything wrong, then hey, if there's no harm, no foul, then right. And the story just works with these characters really well. And there were some serious guest appearances that I was actually shocked by. Nick Nolte voiced one of the characters, Quill. Timothy Olyphant's been in the show. Obviously, Mark Hamill. There were a few others. Bill Burr, that was a surprise for a Star Wars show. I guess he must have been a huge fan, but he plays a criminal, so that character worked really well for him, though. Wow, he has. I know he voices people in animated series, like Adam's Family, but I wasn't expecting the acting chops on that guy for a live action television series. So hopefully he can have a bigger part, because I know he has other projects going on, and obviously he does his stand-up and things like that. But yeah, unfortunately the next season of this isn't coming till 2022, which kind of sucks. But yeah, because I just binge watched the first 2 seasons, and I was like, oh damn, now I have to wait another year. But this show is really quality, obviously, and the upgrade of his armor was probably one of the cooler things, because it went from like I don't know what metal he was using before, but the very first guy that he goes to bring in, he says to him, "I can bring you in hot, bring you in cold," and that's like, I guess, the bounty hunter line type thing. But yeah, the stuff that he has to go through from facing I don't know, what do they call that, sand dragon or something. There obviously was another name for it, but I'm just going to call it the sand dragon. Anyway, he literally sacrifices himself to get eaten alive, shocks it from the inside out, and then blows it up from the inside out. So yeah, this Mandalorian guy, he does a lot of crazy stuff, and he follows some sort of, like, I guess, religion or code where he's not supposed to ever take off his mask. He does end up breaking it at the end of the show, and one time when they have to infiltrate this Empire base in order to find out where the kid is after he's been captured by this character named Gideon, who is the main enemy in this show. And he has one of the dark sabers, like the sword type deal, like the Jedis used to have long before lightsabers became a thing. They used to have actual swords, but I guess I'm not really sure the story on that. I used to know, but I can't really remember the story as to why they gave up the swords and began using the lightsabers as opposed to the swords. But it doesn't cut through Pure Beskar, so obviously it's not going to cut through him. The Mandalorian, the main Mandalorian that everybody calls Mando, seems to be almost like invincible with that armor on, because nothing will pierce it or go through it. So I don't know if he's going to get another potential update to his armor now, or whether because he's taken off his mask and everybody's seen his face, because he does end up giving this baby Yoda creature to Luke to take away to train, because that was one of the bigger scenes in the show, where they travel to the one planet, and the baby Yoda creature sits on this rock and uses the Force power to call the Jedi in, and then Luke saves them when they're on Gideon's ship. And then he takes the kid with him. That was probably the saddest moment in the show, honestly. But I am looking forward to season 3. Obviously, I will do a review of it, and I hope I covered everything that I could. So far, this show is a 10 out of 10, because clearly they really focused on the quality of the show rather than the quantity they were putting out, because each season is only 8 episodes, so I'm hoping they continue with that. What's the word? Oh, I can't think of it. I just hope they continue with that. Not platform. Geez, I can't think of the word. Anyhow, I hope they continue with that. That's all I'm going to say. 10 out of 10 on the show. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on The Mandalorian if you've seen it at all. If not, definitely go watch it before watching this review, because there's probably a few spoilers. Usually I like to talk a little bit about what happens in the show as well as my thoughts on the show, but yeah, so far not disappointed. Definitely will go watch the other 2 Star Wars movies that I haven't done yet, and get back into my list of Netflix as well. And I'm obviously making a list for Amazon Prime now, because I'm gonna kind of do a few movies and then maybe just switch back and forth between the 2, or 3 or 4, because Tubi is one of the ones that I have now too, so I guess we'll see. But anyhow, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.